The contested case hearing regarding Enbridge Energy's plan to relocate Line 5 resumed in Ashland today. Line 5 starts in Superior. It runs through northwest Wisconsin, including through the Bad River Band Reservation. The yellow line shows where the oil pipeline currently exists. And the blue hash line is where Enbridge is proposing to move the pipeline to. This is video when the hearing began back on August 12th in Ashland. The contested case is a weeks-long process that was prompted by the Bad River Band and environmental groups. They're challenging the Wisconsin DNR after permits were awarded to the proposed reroute of the pipeline back in November. The groups opposing the permits, along with the Bad River Band, presented their expert witnesses today. Those experts were then cross-examined by other lawyers. The hearings will be held at Northwood Technical College for the rest of the week. Then we'll move down to Madison. Enbridge is expected to present their side then. The case is expected to wrap up sometime October 3rd. The administrative law judge will then take all the testimony under advisement and make a decision. Both sides expect a decision by the end of the year.